The ball game changed in the second half because defensively we became the more physical team. Not only that, our weak side was aware at an extremely high level. In the first half, our weak side was not aware like it's capable of, and they had 28 paints in the point. And a lot of it was because, Sarr was rolling and whoever was rolling, and they were rolling in a wide open paint. And they were either catching it for lobs and dunking it, or shot was going up and they were rebounding and dunking it. And I thought in the second half, our low man was extremely active. He was led by Josh. Josh had a heck of a game defensively. He guarded all types of guys, from C.J. McCollum to Sarr at times. And he was our defensive player of the game. He more than deserved it because of his activity, his awareness throughout the course of the entire ball game. And then he had 10 defensive rebounds. I thought Cat was huge. We had a stretch where we couldn't score, and that's what all-stars do. They carry the load for you offensively, and he did a great job with that tonight. And as you guys can see, trying to move him around won't allow teams to tee off on him. And the learning curve is still big for him, for me, and for us in terms of trying to move him around and put him in different spots. But every game, every practice, every shoot around, he's getting a little bit more comfortable with it, as you can see. I thought our defensive transition was pretty good. That team wants to play fast. They had 8 fast break points. And then the last thing I'd say is we had 44 field goals, and 32 of those 44 were assisted. And so our guys did a great job of trying to share the basketball and play for one another tonight.
You mentioned the aggressiveness defensively, but
yeah.
It looked like in the first half, Cat offensively very aggressive, looking for a shot and also taking it to the rim.
No, Cat was a monster. He was a monster on the glass. He was really good defensively. He was a monster inside, outside. He's starting to feel and find his rhythm in what we're trying to do. And but I'm telling you, there's still a lot of room there to grow, not just for him, but for us to learn him, starting with me, and us to continue learning the different points or parts of what we're trying to do offensively. He's a monster. No, you good.
After that Milwaukee game, he held himself accountable, said he needs to be better for everybody to put the team in position to win. Did you guys talk after that game? Because it seems like you've been different, particularly the last 2 nights. Did you guys get on the same page and discuss anything?
No, I've said this before. This is a process, and we've had a lot of guys that have been out and hadn't practiced, and again, start with me. I said this last game. I got to put the guys in a better. I got to try to put these guys in a better position. Whether it's on the floor or whatever, or rotation wise. But I didn't quite have as good a feel because guys have been out, and we're trying to play this guy and that guy, and so it starts with me, and I've gotten better, and they've just gotten more comfortable. Cat's just gotten more comfortable as time has gone on. I talk to all my guys, not just Cat in particular. I try to communicate with them as much as I can about every little thing that's out there, and my door is always open. And so that if they have questions or thoughts or comments, they come talk to me. So it wasn't just me specifically talking to Cat. Did I talk to Cat? Yeah, but I also talked to OG, talked to Josh, I talked to Tyler. I'm in constant communication with all of them, but it's a process, and it's not always going to be this. We're going to do this every once in a while. Hopefully we don't do this for long, and we get back on track. But Cat's trying to find his way, and he's done a great job with it.
It seems like Jordan Clarkson's really gotten comfortable. It's the last 2 nights, especially. What have you seen from him?
No, again, I know I sound like a long-winded, broken record, but it's as the season goes along, everybody's going to get more comfortable. They're going to be able to find their spots. Not only that, these last 2 nights were probably the last 2 nights were the best that I've done for them in terms of rotations. You know, they kind of sort of knew when they were coming out and going in. They kind of sort of knew who they were going to play together. And so it's just, like I said, it's a process of trying to get more familiar with what we're doing on both ends of the floor. Also with the rotation patterns that we're using.
OG has always been statistically a good three-point shooter.
What's that?
OG has always statistically been a good three-point shooter, but this year just feels different. Not just the amount he's getting up, but he's shooting quickly as soon as he gets it. Just the confidence you see from him in terms of letting the ball fly and knowing he was going to be in an offense where that was going to be the focal point. How much have you liked kind of what you've seen from him and his decisiveness shooting the ball?
No, I love it. You know, if any of our guys are open from 3, we want to let it fly. And you know, I don't know what it was tonight, but I hope I say this right. We track. You know, the NBA tracks, you know, open threes, but they use cameras, and it's not always accurate. So I have one of my coaches go back after every game, and one of his job is to track our threes. And our last game against Chicago, we had 27 wide open catch and shoot threes, which is phenomenal. We had 10, and so we have green, yellow, and red. And green means wide open catch and shoot. We had 10 yellow, which could just mean off the dribble or slightly contested, and which is phenomenal again because we have guys that can knock down an off the dribble 3. And then we had 5 in red, which are heavy contested threes, but 4 of those 5 threes were with 4 seconds or less on the shot clock, so they had to be taken. To know you had 27 wide open catch and shoot, 10 yellows, and 5 reds is phenomenal. So all of our guys are making quick decisions. That's one of our staples offensively. We want to make quick decisions before the defense has a chance to get settled in, and that's shooting the ball, passing the ball, or snap driving to put more pressure on them.
A couple more guys. What have you learned about, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but the roller coaster of coaching Josh Hart?
I haven't experienced that yet. So what do you mean?
I mean, like, you know, it's an up and down kind of wave. Does that make sense?
I mean, I think I sort of like I've only experienced good things. Now he had missed the whole preseason. He came back, and I tried to throw him on the floor. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, all you got to do is look at the rotation or substitution pattern and look at his minutes. And so I needed to quickly get caught up to speed, so I had a better feel of how to use him. And I'd say these last 2 games are probably the first time that he's had consistent minutes. Not only that he's had consistent minutes, but I knew what to do and when to put him in and how to use him out on the floor. And so I haven't experienced the roller coaster yet, but if I experienced the roller coaster, because it just, like I said, it didn't start off good because for me, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know, to give him credit. And then he had been out for a long time. But these last 2 games are the first time that I know for me, and you can ask him, but I know for me, I felt comfortable not just with him, but with our whole team. And I knew when I was going to put him in, when I was going to take him out, who I was going to play him with, and all that other stuff.
What's it like to be, as a coach, to watch a team go from up at 3 at half to then in the blink of an eye up by 26 with the game pretty much put away? Did you expect that to happen in the third quarter like that?
Our last 2 games in the third quarter, I think Chicago here, we outscored them 37-29, and tonight it was 41-24. And so our guys, you know, whatever Casey's giving them at halftime, he's got to keep giving it to them because we've come out these last 2 games locked in and ready to go. Now, did I know we were going to outscore them 41-24? No. But are we capable? Yes. And like I said, it started defensively for us, which gave us an opportunity to get out and run and share that basketball in transition.
All right. Thanks, Kirk.
Thank you, guys.